What were the major cultural and societal factors that shaped a person's ability to be resilient? Were there any specific hardships or values that were considered hallmarks of strength back in the day?
Great question. I think when I say my time, probably let's take a look at about 80s, 90s in terms of how the context was for probable 80% of people who are working, right? One, I think socially it was on more of a scarcity mindset. The opportunities were few and the budgets were very tight. So we had to kind of make do with background in terms of an analog childhood, right? Analog childhood basically meaning we didn't have any devices till probably we started working later. That was one. And I think the validation was more in terms of academia, in terms of the number of marks that you got, the grades that you got, or even in sports, whether you are a captain or whether you're a winner or a runner up. So it was more in terms of how scarce each opportunity is. And I think we had fewer safety nets, which means back in the days when you fail a subject, you used to almost lose a year in academics. So you had to really relearn, learn more, adapt, and then kind of take the next opportunity forward. Whereas, especially on that, in comparison, now I think people think it's really okay in certain ways where they take a break here in terms of trying to figure out what they want to do next. Not necessarily about failure, but I think the rush that we had to go ahead and make that first bread as soon as we got out, I think that's probably not as persistent, at least to the tier one kids that we see now. Because most of the basics in terms of food, clothing, shelter are taken care of. I think they need to be focused in terms of more of what they want to be achieving. So that's one stark difference, right? In terms of consistently we had to keep achieving. And I think culturally, biggest difference that I've seen is we come from a mindset of fix it before we replace it. We fix our bikes, we fix our devices, anything that's broken. The first tendency that we have is to kind of duct tape it or glue it up and see if things work.
Yes.
I think that's changed a lot now because there's more alternatives. So the fixing mindset is lesser and mostly it's about replacing or looking at alternatives. I think that's what's shaping in terms of how they want to deal with resilience compared to ours and the new generation that's out.